Hello, today's date is February 18th, 2015. It's about 5:28 a.m. in the morning, and I just woke up, and this message goes out to Alex Ansary, and this is kind of a follow-up of your Cuddle House. You had interviewed some people about the post-Cuddle House videos that you did, and I want to give you my 2 cents. I might talk 10, 15 minutes, I don't know. I'm trying to adjust this microphone. I'm not using it, I'm using my little dictaphone, so if the audio sounds like crap, I'm sorry. I'll try to make it as, maybe I'll set this thing pillow or something. Hold on a second here. What I want to say, Alex, is I appreciate, I've listened to a lot of your videos. I really highly recommend people subscribe to your channel and, watch your stuff. And I watched your video on emotional tampons, phenomenal stuff about how people want to sap your time, but they don't want to give you donations, even $1 a month for crying out loud. And I know exactly how that works with YouTube. People get hooked on people's videos. And let me move on here. You had that... Let's talk about the Cuddle Con thing. First of all, we know it's a con. Like that one guy who responded to your video, he said, yeah, we know it's a con. But you had a black guy on your video, and you were complaining that Portland's the whitest city in the world, but of all people you interview, the last video, he's a black guy, okay? An unattractive guy, he had an underbite. But you know what really bothered me about that black guy in the video was that he seemed so positive about this whole experience, like, oh, this is not such a bad thing, and we need cuddle houses, and yada yada. And I'm here to tell you that unfortunately this thing is going to go through. I think people are going to start buying these cuddle houses, or buying into this whole scam that it is a con. And it is because so many guys are just so freaking desperate for female attention and touch. A good example of this is I'm finding out there's more guys that have gone to massotherapy school with the sole intention. It's not to make money. It's to be able to massage a woman, be able to touch her, and get the feeling of what it's like to touch a woman. Because let's face the fact, I mean, I've been around the block. I know this. I have gone to some massotherapy, had massages done because I'm a runner and I have tight muscles. I've had some painful kinks removed, and when you're running 100 miles a week plus, your body gets tight. You don't really realize how tight you are until you had a massage and you realize, yeah, that's what you need. So I talked to one woman one time, and I asked her about, she says, oh, right now the field of massage therapy is flooded, and she says there's almost no market for male massage therapists. You'd think there would be. Years ago, a male massage therapist was somebody that had stronger hands, especially if you're like a football player. You definitely would be somebody to have a job. But now these guys that go to massotherapy school, they're total dumbasses, and I know why they do it. I totally know why they do it, because they think it's some way they're going to be able to touch women. So, in fact, this girl kind of confirmed this to me one time. She told me an anecdotal story, which it was just small, it's nothing big, but it proved to me that it's all about lacking human touch. And so here, this black guy seems to think this is a good idea. He's an unattractive guy. There's going to be so many unattractive guys that are going to be falling for this crap, and especially guys that call themselves MGTOW. And this is something that I've harped on about my age, being 44. These 22-year-old MGTOWs are really horny and lacking female touch, and I think they are probably going to fall for this whole thing about going for this this cuddle con. I mean, it is addictive. The thought of wanting to cuddle with somebody and have them touch you and put their arms around you is a good feeling. I mean, I guess it's better than hugging your own pillow. Bill Greathouse talked about that in his TFL series of videos, which I am going to repost. It's the only few that I have of his that are screen captured. but he did a 3-part series on explaining how guys go through these stages where he goes, they don't have anybody to cuddle with, so what do? They cuddle their pillow. They feel really crappy. So that's another day, but I'm not going to talk about that now. So what's going to happen? Yeah, well, CuddleCon is going to con a lot of people because they've found a way to monetize this whole scam, which is they're going to find a way to make money off this crap, and it's going to go through. And you did a good job going out there and protesting this thing, and it's good that you made people aware of what you did. It's like even my video, you got some good responses and got some good numbers, so there are people out there paying attention. I'm sorry my videos get a little more hits than yours. I don't know why. You being around, having a track record, I would think that you'd have way more hits than I would have, but I guess the content of what I used to deliver was so popular that now that I came back, people are really hitting them hard. So and plus I respond to a lot of my viewers too, which is very time consuming. The last few days I haven't made any videos, and it's so time consuming being on this thing all day. The CuddleCon thing, you're going to see more ugly guys. Let's face the fact, and people hate when I call myself ugly, because I've said a few videos I don't think I'm attractive. I think what it boils down to is that if you're average looking today, you might as well be invisible, and I feel like this right now. My mom and sisters, I've even said this in front of one of my brothers, I've said I'm ugly, and of course the typical, oh, you're not ugly, yada yada. But yeah, I am ugly because I'm defining ugly as what society views. I mean, of course I can, I'm not falling for the blue pill, but you're going to see more guys falling for this because unless you're an attractive guy in the upper 10%, you're just another dude. You're just another guy walking around in public. And so you get lonely and you think, okay, well, there's these cuddle houses, okay? And if these things start getting popular, would I visit one? I don't think I would because I'm such a cynical bastard. In fact, I've given up on the restaurant bar industry. I don't want to patronize any, including Starbucks. I won't even go to Starbucks anymore. I'm boycotting any industry that exploits lonely males that sit around thinking that they'll get female attention if they purchase their product. For example, Starbucks. People go there surreptitiously. I see guys on their laptops all the time, these intellectual metrosexual types. They're straight guys looking for romance. They're on their Apple laptops. They're not there for privacy. They're there because they secretly desire to meet a female that'll approach them and talk to them. Okay, I've done it, and I'm not going to sit there and deny it. Okay, so I avoid them places. I avoid the bars like the plague. I avoid restaurants that serve alcohol, basically, except for Denny's and places that are just not in business to rip you off like that. The bar business is a total scam. The whole alcohol industry is marketed toward us heterosexually pussy-whipped guys that can't be women. It really is. It's geared toward the vain females that want to exploit male sexuality. Women with long hair. Yes, I'm going to say it friggin' again for you viewers who love women with long hair. You guys have been duped. I said about in my last video about how women are using long hair to hypersexualize men. Absolutely, positively, that's what's going on today. There's no question about it. Look for a woman with short hair today. Look for a woman with her 1961 short haircut like Shirley MacLaine in the movie Apartment. You ain't going to see it. And if you do see it, it's going to be an older woman in her 50s. Okay? It's because women are trying to hypersexualize men, and ugly dudes are going to fall for it, and they're going to go to cuddle houses. And that's just all there is to it. Alex, thanks for bringing the cuddle house thing up. I wasn't even aware of it, or I had vaguely heard about it. You spent a lot of time talking about it, and it was a really good series. So what's going to happen with this thing? I'm bouncing around here. Ugly dudes are going to go to cuddle houses, and it'll be another business created, like the bar business, like the Starbucks. where unattractive guys are going to go there to get a little love and affection. The girls that'll be doing the cuddling will look like the girls who work behind the counter at Starbucks. Those 22-year-old girls with those square glasses that try to look intellectual, but they got these enormous fat asses, but they still think they're hot because there's plenty of good-looking guys that'll hit on them. And that's the kind of girl that you're going to cuddle with. You're not going to cuddle with an attractive woman. You're going to cuddle with a very mediocre-looking woman with a big fat hiney, but guys will be turned on by that. And this just, it's you know what this cuddling is going to do? I'm going to tell you, Alex, I'm going to tell you, take this even if you didn't touch on this, and I'm going to say it. It's going to further amplify the glorification of mediocre to substandard looking women who wear pajamas to the grocery store. It's going to make very mediocre looking women, give them a job in the service industry, which is all women really are good for, service-based jobs. And they're going to exploit more men, and good-looking guys, or better than average-looking guys, are going to go there. They're going to cuddle up with some mediocre to fat-ass woman, and she's going to get her ego real high. And we haven't even touched on the issue of what's going to happen in this cuddle thing when a guy starts to build a relationship with a particular female that he likes and wants to take it further. And there's going to be the term creep. Oh, you're such a creep. That's going to be amplified because there's going to be more guys, let's face it, they're going to be attracted to these girls. And of course the shaming creep tactic is going to come out. And it's really sad. It really is. Would I like to cuddle with somebody? I'm going to tell you something, Alex, and I'm going to say this to my listeners out there. I know there's a lot of guys out there that are very, very got major problems. I mean, I get guys on a very autistic spectrum on these videos. I mean, Asperger, autistic. I think a lot of guys that go MGTOW are also are very much struggling socially, and but I'm going to tell, whether you got Asperger's or not, or whatnot, this is why I harp on my marathon running. I harp and tell you how much I love to run marathons and how hard I work to do it. Because if you don't find something default, a default passion, something physical, something that is very... Passion, by the way, is not being a Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns fan and wearing your famous... That's not passion, that's obsession. That's a video I'm making real soon, too, about idiotic sports fans. But you've got to build a passion towards something. I recommend it be something that takes physical effort, like a skill, become good at something, and then you can, learn how to become more proficient and stuff like that. So that's my whole get-up on that. And, there's so much I could say on this issue, but there's going to be a lot of guys that are marginalized with this whole thing. And I'm very disappointed that it has to get down to this, but it's just the way that it is, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm just extremely disappointed with how men are, falling for this. I mean, the guy you interviewed, a perfect example. He thinks it's a good idea. I mean, everything you've said goes right through one ear out the other. And a lot of guys will think this cuddling thing is going to give them access to sex, too. This is another thing you didn't think about. A lot of these guys that are desperately romantically starved are going to see this as the precursor to getting sex. This could lead to prostitution, too, depending on how the economy gets for women. It could get worse. It's really, really hard to say where this could go, but... I personally think that it's something that it is very destructive toward our society, and it's only going to get worse. So, okay, I've kind of harped on it. I've been all over the map on this thing. Cuddle houses, say no to them. If you got the strength, cuddle your pillow, pretending it, I don't care what you got to do. I take up its physical sport. I have, like I said, the libido of a 90-year-old man on his deathbed. I don't care about pussy and sex. And I don't feel sorry for guys that that's all they think about. I had one guy unsubscribe to my channel because I offended him because he bragged about it. He goes, I got a healthy sex drive and I've got Asperger's, and he's bragging he's got Asperger's and a healthy sex drive, and I says, well, you need to get that thing under control because I don't think it's a good idea, and he got very offended. Well, I don't need that because I treat pussy beggars like I treat coke addicts. They're the architects of their own misery. So that's all I'm going to say on that. And I'll say anybody that needs to cuddle with a female that's going to charge them are the architects of their own misery. And so that's it. So that's it.